Hi guys, K-Sauce here. So right now I'm in the beautiful world of Python, or at least a variable of it. It's Replit. I'm using Replit because I'm very new to Python. I just started about 2 days ago, and I'm still trying to get test the waters of this program. But even so, Python is a very integrated website. It's very similar to JavaScript, and that's how I was able to catch on to it so fast. I created a few programs on this already, despite only joining 2 days ago. Um, but I understand if you haven't learned Python and you want to create a game, so that's why I created this tutorial. This tutorial isn't just for people who um, want to go from JavaScript to Python, or people who already know Python and want to just learn this game. It's for beginners as well. So all right, so let's get started. And keep in mind that this isn't just limited to Replit. As long as you're using any user base that contains Python, this will work the same way. So if you're using something else, don't worry. As long as you have Python, that shouldn't be a problem. So the first thing you want to do is type in from random import randit randint. Sorry, and I'll explain what that means in just a minute. Just bear with me for a second. Next thing you want to do is choice uh, bracket rock paper. Sorry, scissors. And what I'm doing over here is I'm addressing the three possible options for rock paper scissors. So we have the option rock, we have the option paper, and you have the option scissors. And next thing we want to do is def main. And under that, we're going to introduce the possible choices that the computer can choose. So we'll do computer equals choice rand int 0 2. So back to the rand int. That's basically saying between 0 and 2, you have three different things you can choose from. Zero being rock, one being paper, two being scissors. So the program, the console, will automatically and randomly choose any of these variables, whether it's rock, paper, or scissors. So that way, it's not just manually like choosing rock for computer. It's doing that itself. And I forgot an equal sign, so never do that. Python's gonna get at you for that. And then the next thing you want to do is just initialize the game, I guess. So a very clever and easy way to do that is the print method. So the print method basically prints whatever you put inside your game. So if you for this one, we can just do welcome to rock paper scissors game. Mind my grammar. I'll fix this in a second. Next thing you want to do is the input function. So the input is basically allowing you to interact with whatever is printed over here. So that's why I really like Python, because Java, it's a little trickier to do this. Python, all you need to do is just utilize the input function. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do player. So whatever player is, so you have equals input your choice. So and it's very important to keep a space, because that allows you to type what you want to put in the input right over here. And I think, oh yeah, also make sure you put lower. Just just make that a habit. You learn why it's important in a later episode. And then next thing you want to do is print what the computer chose. It's a game, so you want to know what the computer chose. You just want that to be saved as data inside the console. You want to see that visually. So that's also very important. So sorry, we'll do print the computer chose, and you put that plus computer. So this will return what the computer chose between this random int. And once again, mind my grammar. I'm rushing this. So that's basically the game. Of course, it won't work because we're missing a few stuff. But once we add those stuff, it will become like cake. Everything is gonna happen in a flow. Um, there's not gonna be a problem with everything because the methods are all going to be assigned. Look at this, for example. A local variable player is assigned but never used. Well, we are going to use that later on. We're still going to use that, and I'll prove that. So, what are the conditions? Well, there's rock beats paper. There's paper beats rock. Sorry, there's rock beats scissors. There's scissors beat paper, and there's paper beat rock. And there's also the event that whatever you did, the computer did the same. So there's a tie. So that means there'd be around um six possible combinations, not including a tie, because you could be rock, you could be paper, you could be scissors, and the computer could be rock, paper, scissors. So there's six different combinations, and if you're equal, well, we just that's very easy to address. We'll just do if player equals computer. So in other words, if whatever you played, regardless of if it's rock, paper, or scissors, if that's what the computer played, we're gonna return tie. So print tie. Always make sure to have whatever you're putting as a string in quotations. If you want an integer, put an integer without quotations, because a string is very different from an integer. This is a string, and this is an integer. You cannot add strings the mathematical way. If you wanted to add string 1 plus 1, it becomes 11. So that becomes 11. If you want to add 1 plus 1 using ints, it becomes 2. So that's the main difference between strings. So strings and ints. So just keep that in the back of your head while we're using this. Um, so that's the first condition. That means there's six other conditions. The next one, whenever you want to exit from under an if statement, you just hit tab shift and then you're out. So another condition is going to be elif player equals rock and computer equals paper. So in this case, the computer wins because the computer is paper. Well, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to say print computer wins. So that's basically the first oh. So also, I forgot to mention this. Whenever you're doing stuff like this, always make sure to have the correct indentation. Otherwise, the code's going to be really confused. Never miss that. This whole thing is under def main. So you want to keep it that way, right? So the next possible scenario is if the um if the player plays rock, but instead of playing paper, the computer plays scissors. So now we're saying that the player wins because rock obviously beats scissors. So that'd be player equals rock and computer equals scissors. Scissors. Um, and then we just print you win instead of the computer wins because you'd be winning that game at that in that scenario. So you win. If now the fourth scenario is if you play paper and the computer plays rock. So in that scenario, paper beats rock and you're winning again. So we do elif player equals rock. Oh, sorry, if player equals paper and computer equals and if computer equals rock, then you win again. So it's print you win. And always forget your quotation marks. That will really do you dirty. Um, Code when compile, stuff with syntax errors, logic errors, you name it. All of those will be a big problem if you forget quotation marks and stuff like that, because code can't differentiate what you think you're trying to say compared to what's actually being produced. So never forget that. So you just print you in. Um, Shift tab. Um, the fifth scenario is if you still play paper, but instead of playing rock, the computer plays scissors. So in that case, the computer wins. So it'd be paper, player equals paper. We don't want to be paper, and computer print computer wins. And then I think there are only two other um two other scenarios. I think so. I'll just do them. Player. So those two other scenarios are if the player plays scissors, and in the first of those two scenarios, rock is played, and the other paper is played. So we do that. If player equals scissors and computer equals rock, well, rock beats scissors, so print computer wins. And then our final one is if the player is scissors and the computer is paper. So an example of that would it's very simple. Actually, it's so simple. I'm just going to copy and paste for time's sake. There's no point in just rewriting. I think at this point you should understand what I'm trying to get to. If not, there are plenty of tutorials on how to really start. So the other is paper, and in that case, well, player wins. So you win. So those are the seven options. And then once you've done that, just don't forget to close those brackets. Otherwise it's gonna be real problematic. Main. And it should run like so. Welcome to Rock Paper Scissors game. What do you choose? So I choose rock. And keep in mind, Python is case sensitive. So if you're typing rock, you don't type rock. Watch, if you type rock like this, um, oh, that's surprising. Usually that doesn't happen, but yeah. So see, if you type rock, computer shows rock, so it's a tie. If you try scissors, chose paper, I win. Um, if you try paper, scissors, computer wins because the computer chose scissors. Keep in mind this is completely random, so there is the possibility that you could just consecutively get the same one over and over again. That's not it's not an error. It's just bad luck. And let me know about that if that happens, because that'd be pretty funny. Well, anyway, that's my tutorial on how to create rock paper scissors. Link will be in the description in case you need it. Um, you can always watch the video. Um, I believe stuff like these are very basic compared to what you can really do on in Python. The only reason for this is one, I'm new myself, so it's kind of a learning experience for me, and two, this Replit Python uses mostly console, so animations are very limited. So if you want to real rock paper scissors, I think Greenfoot Java is what I recommend best for you. Um, and also it's very redundant. Like, look at this. We have player, 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 player. It's written too many times. And the reason for that is because once again, I'm new, and second, some of you guys might be new as well. So It's just there are definitely faster ways to do this. This way is very redundant, but if it's a great step if you want to jump into the world of Python. So that's my video, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something out of this, and I hope you see you next time.